Armchair commanders, we call the shots. From our living room thrones where the action's hot. We're the generals of fiction, the masters of war. In silver screen battles with buttered popcorn. Armchair commanders, armchair commanders.
Alrighty, welcome to the Armchair Commanders podcast. My name is John.
And I am Jack.
And this week, we are watching Top Gun. No, actually, we're not.
That's a good one. That's real fucking funny.
Top Gun, if it was written by Chat GPT.
Oh my god. And starred Chat GPT. But
I don't know why you picked this movie, Jack. I mean, after a movie...
fuck you.
Fuck
off.
I picked a serious, thoughtful movie about genocide, and then you bring me this.
Oh, well, I just thought I would shake it up with a mediocre movie. I thought we were getting to... Fuck you, that's not what happened, and you know it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even know why you're so upset. This is grade A filmmaking right here.
Oh, in what school of filmmaking? Please tell me and the audience. In what fucking school? If you say Michael Bay School of Filmmaking, I will kill you.
I was actually about to say the Michael Bay School of Filmmaking.
That's what I fucking thought. Like, Jesus Christ. So I was actually ranting about this movie earlier in a Discord with friends when I was playing D&D. So this film really, really feels like it's like there were two kids. Let's name them Transformers and Top Gun. They're smart kids, and one is smart, one is moderately successful. I take that back.
I was going to say the OG, like the first Transformers film, like we can make fun of it being a Michael Bay film, but it was actually kind of a good movie.
It made a lot of money, and that's why I took back my original statement. I ain't gonna say it's smart because it wasn't, but it made money. Okay, like
pretty crazy Shia LaBeouf.
I think he was always crazy in a weird sort of way.
Pre-openly crazy Shia LaBeouf and also pre-crazy Megan Fox.
Anyway, whatever. Like, it's not a smart movie, but it's a successful one. It's like that kid in everybody's class that nobody's sure how he graduated. He just kind of like failed himself upwards. Maybe he was popular in sport. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Yeah, he had a scholarship. So there's one kid, he's smart, successful, self-made man. We gotta love that. The guy he's sitting next to is his friend, nowhere near as smart as him, but he's successful, and goddammit, he gets results and makes money. And then we have this dipshit behind them. One day, he tries his best to lean over really far without the teacher noticing, and cheats off their essays, both of them at the same time. He's got two eyes and they're both cockeyed, so he can look at them both at the same time. Only he doesn't have the raw intelligence to interpret what he reads. He can only pay facetious lip service. Am I using that word correctly? Facetious? Whatever.
Probably.
Surface level intelligence, call it that, at both of these movies, and tries to put his own spin on it, and then he gets an F minus. I was gonna give him a D minus, but this movie lost a lot of money. Holy shit.
Well, since when is making money a metric of whether a film is good or not?
Oh my god. You're a comedian. You almost had me there for a second.
You ever heard of cult classics?
Well, this is not a cult classic.
At
least I don't think it is.
It's not.
My God.
I like as a kid, I thought this movie was awesome. But granted, this movie came
Kid.
out. What's that?
But kid.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was a kid.
Anyway.
But this movie came out pre MCU and it was also pre Transformers. So not a lot to compete with.
Yeah. It's just so much about this movie.
I really want to do like comparisons to like Transformers, but it's hard because this movie predates Transformers.
It does. And it does. It's just it tries to be a Michael Bay film, but it ain't.
I thought it was hilarious because the entire time, so you know, like the '90s and 2000s, like it was really big, or early 2000s, it was really big for like a movie studio to team up with a band or a music artist to come up with a song specifically for the movie, and then like that song would become popular like on the radio waves after the fact. You know, like "My Heart Will Go On" from Titanic, or you know what the fuck I'm saying though.
Oh my god. No, keep going, keep going. It's just yeah.
Just like how Linkin Park became like inexorably linked with fucking Transformers. Like
Yeah.
what I've done.
America.
Yeah. Um I was like, what the fuck did Michael Bay like buy out Linkin Park, so that's why this movie has Incubus?
Yeah, and I was reading about the music in this film, and apparently it's part of the reason why "Over My Head" by The Fray was as popular as it was. I guess this movie. I don't want to say it's the debut, but maybe it popularized this
What scene was in Over My Head in this movie? I don't
when it
remember.
shows them chilling in the barracks,
Oh.
and the lead white guy was just boogieing to this song.
You know, my head. I haven't heard that song in a long time.
It's a good one. I mean, so
Josh Lucas.
the biggest criticism that I can see about it is that it's quote unquote overplayed on the radio, was overplayed on the radio, but that argument has literally never held weight for me because it was not played on every station. Fuck you. Like, change the channel. Like, I don't understand. And, like, granted, some people are basically held hostage to listen to the radio at work. I get it. But most of the people I hear that from are talking about their personal car radios. And every time I call them out on it, like, you change the fucking channel? No, but it's on every no, it isn't. No, it isn't. No, the fuck it isn't. We grew up in the Midwest. There is a country western station that would never. But I don't know.
You don't know.
I just always hated that argument because it just seems so stupid and forced. Like, just say you don't like the song. Okay, whatever.
I gotta say, this movie was a time capsule of the early 2000s.
It was. It had a lot of cliche. Well,
Like, there's.
hallmarks of a 2000s
I
movie.
love that the Chat GPT airplane, like, they built in a LimeWire joke into this movie, and I was like, oh yeah, that was a thing. Because they're like, oh yeah, Eddie's so smart that he downloads everything he can off the internet. And they're like, well, how many songs is he downloading? And he's like, all of them. Like this
Oh,
fucking
every single song in existence.
like I'm not like a computer expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I would still imagine that like a smart airplane system would still have like a max memory limit.
Yeah, like what's the storage limit on this Eddie? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, Eddie.
Eddie. What's the storage limit if he's able to download literally every single song off the internet?
I think they said like 10 terabits a second
Jesus Christ.
in 2005.
But keep in mind, actually, wait, no, because this takes place, quote unquote, in the future. And there's an
No.
entire. No, it says like in the near future at the beginning of the film. And they're
Okay,
flying
well,
sixth generation planes, which in the 2020s still aren't out.
hold on. Okay, so yeah, the planes that they are using are futuristic, all this, that, and the other, and so is the fucking AI airplane. But they're going up against Su-25s, which are...
But keep in mind, this is Russia.
Yeah, okay.
And I
But here's
watched.
the other thing, is they're launching from the Abraham Lincoln, which is currently in service and has been in service since 1989.
Honest Abe.
So I don't know how far in the future, near future, actually is.
I was gonna say there's a trope about this where it's set slightly into the future, but not enough to be near unrecognizable. The name of the trope is 20 minutes to the future.
It's like iRobot, where they're like, it came out in the early 2000s, but the movie setting was like 2030 or 2040. So it's like
But
far enough that you're like, yeah, probably, maybe.
I'm gonna ballpark this, and I'm gonna be generous and give them maybe 20, maybe 30 years in the future. That in and of itself is pushing it.
Man,
But
people, could you imagine people in 2025 still using
LimeWire
fucking LimeWire,
and
earbuds, fucking digital cameras that are their own unit?
and Russia still being taken seriously as a military power.
Or North Korea.
Let's see. Oh yeah, this film premiered only a couple months after YouTube debuted, and even when it debuted, I don't think it was widely used. I think it.
Just saying, the laptops in this movie still seem pretty dated.
I mean, yeah, but can you really blame them? Like, take a look at 90s sci-fi. Actually, do it, because 90s sci-fi is a gem to me, and let me tell you why. Because they expect us to believe in 90s sci-fi that they have interstellar travel and laser weapons and androids so human-like they blur the line between man and machine. However, everybody still uses payphones and nobody has smartphones. This is just a
Kind of
case.
like in Starship Troopers, where they were still delivering mail, but it was by CD.
Yeah. And what was it? IBM was a major player.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a trope for this as well, and it's called technology marches on.
I found it hilarious that they had a fucking like Elon Musk character, like pre Elon Musk.
Before the whole tech bro
Yeah.
like
Fucking
stock
Keith
character
Orbit.
type was ruined. Keith Orbit.
Yeah,
And
except
he
Keith
changed
Orbit can
his
actually
name.
do fucking math.
Yeah. And it's like, what was the end of his character arc? Like, yeah, he kind of comes around on it, and like
He
he
stole
comes
that
to the
car and drove away. That's it.
in Alaska while wanted by the federal government.
Yeah.
I guess. He's probably a household name and known, right?
Yeah.
So what's he gonna do?
That was a poor plan on their part. You're not just going to make him disappear.
Like, and that's another problem I had with this movie. He's like, well, what do I do? And the guy was like, head west, I'll cover you. And then like fucks off the 1,000 miles to the east.
Fun fact about that scene. Did you know that they used like 500 gallons of gasoline to blow up that hangar?
Every gallon of which was well spent, right?
The fucking explosion for that scene was so big that they had to pre-notify NASA so that the guys on the fucking ISS didn't freak out.
No shit.
Yeah.
My God. And I thought the scene with the like suborbital blimp, which
Which,
by
by
the
the
way,
way, the single most stupid concept ever. Oh yeah. Let's put millions of gallons of aviation fuel in the fucking Hindenburg.
Hear me out. Like, this was a concept that's been on the drawing board for a while, like a perpetual self-sustaining blimp to be in service for like comm buoys or sensors or something. It was being developed by DARPA. So if it ever saw success, us peasants would never know about it, but they have toyed around with this idea. I don't know if they planned on it being a massive refueling station. Like, what I heard, it was going to be used for scouting or weather patterns, but
I
your
thought it was
mileage may
just a
vary.
setup for another one of our licensed songs, Burn, baby, burn. Dun, 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 dun.
But I do like the advanced AI's low tech solution when it was denied access. Just fucking shoot it off and use it.
Oh yeah, this fucking okay. So you want me to believe that this is the single most
Yes.
intelligent aircraft in the world? It has become sentient, has decided to go rogue, start selecting its own targets. Has the ability to hack government systems to give whatever piece of information our main character wants. Is so advanced that it can somehow make out a fingerprint on a light pole 10 miles away to identify a target in a building.
I'm pretty sure it was 10 miles, even more than 10 miles away.
Just to be fucking, to give it a number, okay? Like, and you're telling me that this fucking airplane couldn't figure out how to get gas from the fucking Hindenburg without shooting the hose?
And yeah, like, and we saw in a previous scene, like that scene you were talking about, it like hacked into the local surveillance system. So it can hack, and it shows that it can like tap communication lines. But I guess the blimp was too high tech for it to hack in and of itself. Whatever. But that was a hilarious solution. And I don't know if jet fuel. I know it can melt steel beams, but I don't know if it can linger in the air like that. It's dense, isn't it?
I mean, I'm sure to a degree it could probably mix with clouds. I could also imagine it becoming aerosol depending on how it was leaking from the blimp, but no, I don't think it would have done the Johnny Cash Ring of Fire effect.
But I feel the need to mention this to the audience. That was in fact a joke. Jet fuel cannot completely melt steel beams, but it can take away about 80 to 90% of the tensile strength. Just thought I'd put that out there. But anyway,
we don't entertain 9/11 conspiracy theories around here.
No, not at all. It's dumb shit. But so I do recognize this movie. Like, I'd never seen it before, mind you, but I do remember watching ads for this in a theater for which movie I don't fucking remember, but I do remember seeing an ad for this movie, and the ad was accurate to maybe a part of this film. Like, the way it was marketed,
cooler than it was.
The way it was marketed to me was 3 aerospace pilots going toe to toe with a rogue AI, and the whole movie is about them fighting it. So I thought it was about a man versus machine thing, but then the main character, like, the black guy dies, the woman gets stranded in North Korea, and it's the white guy that like fucking jailbreaks it somehow. And
he reasons with it to be moral again, basically.
Like, he bargains with it, and because it's sentient, it understands the weight of a bargain, I guess. And he reasons with it that I saved your life, so now you owe it. And normally I would just be cynical and say, oh, yeah, I wouldn't care. They would just see it as something you do for them and it wouldn't register. But Mesentians. And then they like team up to go against this conspiracy cover up. I will give the movie credit. I wasn't expecting that. Like, that was very refreshing.
The cover up.
And I do.
We have to cover up the fucking failure of this super duper secret program, except our pilots keep talking about it every goddamn place they go.
And like, to have a movie with like this kind of plot while we were balls deep, or starting to go balls deep into the war on terror, I find that commendable. Like, a piece of media that shows the military is not perfect, A+ for concept. Now the execution, that's a whole nother can of worms.
I'm not even going to lie to you. When they're like, we have a target in Tajikistan, I'm like, oh, fuck you. And like,
that's a real country.
I didn't believe it was a real country. See, because I thought this movie was so full of shit, and then I had to Google it. I'm like, oh, I'm just dumb.
So I know that because of this game I used to play as a kid called Flashpoint Operation Red River, I believe. I have it on Steam, but it won't fucking work. But I remember having a lot of fun with that game, and that's where it takes place, is in Tajikistan, because of a plot about assassinations at the Olympics. But anyway, and I also know it from Borat too, because he mentions it in the beginning, like, we are bordered by Tajikistan and asshole Uzbekistan. But yeah, and I also spent some time with one of my ADHD holes learning about Tajikistan, and it's not a good situation. Dictators, human rights abuses, government cover-ups and censorships.
Par for the course.
Which, another thing to mention, my biggest issue with this film, I think I might be getting ahead of myself. Before I get too ahead of myself, what are you drinking tonight?
Arizona hard green tea.
Hell yeah. I'm drinking imported beer called Spaten. It's a lager from Germany. I don't really know how it relates to this movie, but something tells me it does.
That's the thing, is you can drink whatever because nothing relates to this fucking movie.
Well, yeah, like, Germans are known for their engineering. The AI required a lot of engineering, so therefore it works. Fuck you. Try to argue with me.
I love they just threw a bunch of like sciencey words out there to like push the fact that this was smart. They're like, oh, this is quantum AI. And it's like, shut up.
They always fucking add quantum to things.
Or like, whenever we see like Eddie doing something, like processing information, it's always layered with like fucking like
the
different
2000s sci-fi effect.
It's
you know
what
I'm talking
like
about.
Math equations is like interwoven in between pictures of shit it's looking at.
Yeah, see, and a movie that did this well, like showing you what the machine quote unquote sees, is Terminator. Terminator came out like 20 years before this movie, and it did it pretty well, I think. I mean, yeah, it's a little dated by today's standards, but
it's not dated by stealth standards.
Oh no, absolutely not. I'm pretty sure Stealth was, the way they did it was dated on release. And God damn it, where was I going with this? But oh yeah, the Thailand scene. What the fuck was the point of that?
I was really hoping for some sort of like long play joke where Jamie Foxx ends up with like a ladyboy.
I mean, yeah, this was the 2000s, so a transphobic joke would be par for the course. And I was really expecting it, but
yeah, but that also goes back to my original statement of like, oh, 3 pilots that were chosen from 400 to be in this super duper secret program. Nobody knows about these airplanes. Like they have to have a couple of successful missions before the world is told about it. Hence the whole like, oh, the program failed, so we got to cover it up. Um, but here's Jamie Foxx fucking talking about his super duper secret airplanes with his Thai girlfriend. Like,
How, like, fuck.
you're telling me there's not like a fucking KGB guy like two tables over because he's like, oh, I heard about some fucking pilots coming in. Let's see if I can't listen in on some conversations.
My God. Yeah, like at my old job, if I told you a disorder that one of my patients had and I told you their name, my ass would be gone. Like, do not pass go, do not collect $200. And this dumb son of a bitch is talking about state secrets and an advanced weapon. Like, I've never been in the military, but I'm pretty sure if I even told you my commanding officer's breakfast routine, I'd be fired.
Also, I find the level to which AI in this movie is in this time period compared to what it actually was in '05 to be just fucking laughable. Because I remember in like 2011, 2012, there was an AI thing that was kind of popular in my high school. It was like chatbot or something like that. And essentially it was AI that would have a conversation with you, except it was smart enough to make complete human sounding sentences. It just didn't comprehend what you were saying to it. So you could say hello and it would respond with, the turkey bastes itself at night. Like, so the
I
idea that 5 years earlier we have this fucking airplane that becomes sentient and selects its own targets is just fucking asinine.
Yeah, I mean, but keep in mind this is in the future, so they can add whatever the fuck they want.
Future.
Future.
I refuse to accept that. Like, it says near future in the beginning of the film. It still looks like the early 2000s, so it can go fuck itself. I'm going to place it in the early 2000s.
No, maybe. Hear me out. Maybe this is an alternate universe where we culturally stagnated in the 2000s because the war on terror escalated. That's why we have Over My Head
Is that why this
and
film had to
Incubus.
remind us that we're at war with Iraq and Afghanistan? But hey, don't forget, we also don't like the North Koreans.
Oh, well, we still don't like the North Koreans. Who are you kidding?
I know, but the fact that they also were a fucking point in this.
We're still
Which,
technically at war with them from the 50s.
so here's one of my other beefs, and this is going to be a tangent, and please indulge me on this. So I get it. These are futuristic, top of the line, super duper secret airplanes like we've never seen before. And their big thing, aside from being super high tech and, essentially they mention them being like the step up from the Raptor, the F-22. So theoretically, these should be like 6th-gen aircraft. Now, in the real world, where these planes haven't existed, one of the other things that these planes are capable of doing is sustained hypersonic flight, basically.
Hey,
And that's where my beef is. Because there's only been maybe a half dozen airplanes that have ever been specifically designed to be able to maintain hypersonic flight. That would be the Concorde, the SR-71. The Russians have their own rip-off version of like the B-1 that is able to do that. And the thing about all of those airplanes is that one, they're fucking massive because their airplanes are, or not there. The airplanes are massive because the engines have to be massive. They also have to have a massive fuel load. They're also designed specifically in a way to maximize that particular speed, but the trade-off with that is that they aren't maneuverable. Like the SR-71, the Blackbird, historically known as one of the fastest airplanes ever, it could go supersonic speeds for hours on end. But its regular cruising altitude was almost goddamn outer space. And there's anecdotes of pilots who would fly the SR-71 where like it had an autopilot system on it because it only took minute minute corrections to fly this thing. And essentially the autopilot on it was there to prevent them from doing an overcorrection because at those speeds it would fucking disintegrate if they, you know, dive too quick, like did too steep of a dive or tried to do anything, you know, crazy with them. Basically, please don't crash my fucking multi-million-dollar airplane computer.
Yeah.
So modern day fighter jets do have the ability to become supersonic. Like that's not really new. But the way they're designed and because their primary mission set is to be maneuverable to be able to fight other airplanes, they have a different flying style. They're only able to maintain that supersonic speed for very short durations. So just based, even today in 2025, there's not an airplane that is capable of doing what these airplanes in this movie are doing. Like, there is yet to have been an engineering breakthrough to allow essentially an F-22 to maintain supersonic flight like an SR-71. And I know it's super fucking pedantic, but that bugged the shit out of me this entire film. Like, I pulled out my fucking phone because, you know, Eddie lands in fucking Alaska. They do their little jailbreak scene, and they're like, okay, we gotta fly back to Korea to go pick up my girlfriend, who's not my girlfriend, but we have this weird sexual tension. Da, 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 da. Do you know how long it would take to fly from Alaska to North Korea at Mach
Oh,
1?
a long fucking time.
5 hours.
And I just want to reiterate this. When he shows up to save her, he shows up exactly where she's at.
Yeah, like she made no progress toward the border.
Like,
Or
and another thing,
she crashed like 10 miles north of the border and
presumably,
somehow in the course of a day only just made it to the line.
like, and keep in mind, she was like, there were trackers hot on her tail surprisingly fast. And she shot, I think, the lead guy in the leg, punched a hole right through him. And then when it flashes forward, probably a couple hours to when she's at the border, they're the same length, they're the same distance they were without having slowed down in the slightest. But then he's shown with a shittily patched up leg and using his gun as a crutch. And him and his droogs somehow kept pace the entire time. No, fuck you. Like, they would have either medevaced him right away and got new people or
Got
a
a
new
new
commander.
helicopter. Yeah, they came in on a fucking helicopter. Why didn't they get back on the helicopter and track her that way?
Yeah, but and
It's
no
also
backup.
Speaking of her shooting him, she's got to have the most accurate SMG I've ever seen in the world. She has the equivalent of future Uzi on her, and like she's running towards the fucking border, and there is like a gun tower with a machine gun on a tripod that somehow is unable to hit her, and she one-armed over a wall, blind fires at it, and takes out the entire machine gun nest. Like, go fuck
Yeah.
yourself.
And SMGs are completely noted for their reliability long range, but whatever. It's a near future SMG.
Future.
And since I'm already on this part, I might as well talk about my biggest issue with this movie. So, this is going to take me a while, so can you pause this while I go piss?
Absolutely.
All right, thank you. I'll be back.
So continue your thought.
So, if I may, can we review the actions taken of our protagonists and their Tin Man friend?
Okay.
They bomb an admittedly abandoned apartment building. I don't remember where, but
It was like
Myanmar,
Myanmar, Taiwan, something like that.
something like that. Yeah, and he does a risky maneuver to drive that bomb through all the levels by driving really fast at it head on.
Also,
Whatever.
can we note the fact that also future bullshit? It was an implosion bomb, so it would just collapse on itself with zero collateral damage.
Which, whatever. Okay, I take
Well,
that.
since when does the military give a shit about collateral damage?
I'm getting to that, but
okay, whatever.
Because this isn't just this one thing. But anyway, so I think they even talk about this briefly, like how morally dubious this whole thing is, and then they ignore it and bomb it anyway because, well, terrorists. And the AI like verified it with his eye scans, his biometrics, his like fingerprint scans.
Fingerprint off a light post from a CCTV camera still.
Which, again, what the fuck ever. You know, like it's near future tech, so whatever. And then he gets struck by lightning, which also, fuck you, movie. Struck by lightning, goes rogue, but they don't know it yet. And, you know, it's business as usual. The main guy voices it, like the technician they have assigned to him voices his concerns, gets reassigned. They replace him with a guy that doesn't know his ass from his elbow because the general really has something to prove. And they go on a mission because some terrorists somehow got their hands on nuclear material and they're holding it in like this mountain fortress in Tajikistan. Okay, yeah, that's cause for concern. Like, you know, if you have proof. However, it's not so cut and dry. Like, they talk about how the way they're doing this strike, hate to say it, but there's going to be some collateral. Okay, whatever. Small price to pay for liberty. It's a high price for them to pay, but it's a price I'm willing to pay, blah, blah, blah.
Freedom isn't free.
No, it's a hefty fucking fee. Anyway, but then one of them voices their concern, like, hey, you know, like, these are nuclear weapons are blowing up. Like, they may not be armed to explode themselves, but we're going to be releasing a fuckload of radioactive debris by doing this. And there's 150,000 people in this valley, or at least in this nearby town, city, whatever. Okay, this is valid. But then the AI, which admittedly is rogue, does it anyway. It bombs this mountain fortress. And there's a moment where they're shocked at the outcome, and we see this nuclear waste descending on this city. And then they just drop that plot line. Which, okay, yeah, this is something the military would do. But then they violate one of them dies and the other gets trapped in North Korea, but that's besides the point. The point is, two American naval aircraft are spotted in Russian airspace. Events transpire, and the two people meant to go intercept it and try to say, like, they weren't even trying to outwardly belligerent. They were just like, hey, you do know you're in Russian airspace, right? Like, what the fuck's up with that? Then
Yeah,
they fuck.
like every nation does that everywhere.
Yeah, because they don't. Shockingly, they don't want an international incident out of nothing. Guess who gets shot down? Those two. And we're supposed to say, like, yeah, fuck Russia, yeah, America, but they were doing their fucking job. And I get that that's a whole thing in military justice, but those two are fucking dead. And to the Russians, two American planes just popped into their airspace, didn't open up diplomatic channels in any sense of the term, violated the rules of engagement, shot down two Russian fighters in their own airspace. And later the next day, one of those aircraft was a part of a border incident in North Korea where they killed a fuckload of soldiers and blew up a huge section of the wall, blatantly violating the ceasefire from the 50s. And then they have a funeral for their dead friend and they kind of forget about him, and they just don't really seem they're more wrapped up in each other.
Like, there's all these incidents that should have started World War III that don't.
This is a massive fucking deal, and it's not going to take a genius to link all of these three things together once the inevitable court-martial and proceedings and military tribunals start.
Well, that's what you don't get, is this was perpetrated by quantum AI, so it was able to do this in a way that we wouldn't notice.
But they're not going to know that, and they're not going to understand that, and they're not going to care. What they care about is American vessels doing this shit. And even if they do believe the AI thing, that's still a massive fucking egg on the US's face for allowing this bit of technology to go rogue. That's almost just as bad as somebody doing this themselves.
I'm surprised they didn't, like, bomb that grid square that Eddie's carcass was off the map.
And another thing, like, I didn't watch it because I turned off the movie at this point, but I guess there's a post-credit scene of Eddie turning back on.
I was going to talk about that.
I'm sorry. Go ahead and talk about it.
No, it's just fucking...
No, you ruined it.
I honestly didn't expect you to fucking know about it because I wanted to surprise you with it. Because I watched this movie a shitload as a kid, and I didn't know about it till this watch through. They fucking pulled the MCU post-credit scene before the MCU was a thing.
Yeah, everybody point and laugh. They thought they were getting a sequel.
That's where you're wrong.
Oh yeah, did it get a sequel?
No. I just am imagining we have the capability. Lots of great films take a while. Take 28 years later.
Stealth 2, stealth harder.
Stealth 2, stealth harder. Imagine this. Stealth 2. What the fuck is his name again?
Keith Orbit.
So, Keith Orbit has somehow marched his way into the White House because no other correlations. And has secured a large contract with his newest and greatest system, some sort of Chat GPT ripoff. At this time, Josh Lucas, our token white guy, is an alcoholic captain at this point in charge of an entire squadron. And he's an alcoholic because he's dealing with his divorce from Jessica Biel, who is now a fucking admiral or something. And there's this tense relationship because she's like in charge of an entire aircraft carrier group while he's still just like pushing a desk somewhere. And then these two have to come back because they're the only ones who have ever fought advanced AI fighters. And because of this post-credit scene and Eddie's still alive, they rebuild Eddie and they form their little 3-man unit to take on the fucking Terminator Chat GPT airplanes. And stealth 2, stealth harder.
Yeah.
It can be done. It can be done.
But could it be done well?
Hit me up. I will write the script.
Hit me up too. I won't write the script, but I'll put it in the prompt for Chat GPT.
I don't think we can actually. Now that I think about it, I don't think we can use Jessica Biel anymore.
No.
Ever since her associations with people.
What kind of people?
RFK Jr.
Yeah, no, fuck that bitch. But what I'm saying is they caused... Oh, Jesus, I'm burping a lot now. But they caused all these international incidents, none of which were really quashed.
Well, there's no repercussions for America. We know this.
World War III is definitely starting for them. They're just too dumb to notice.
Okay, what was something in this film you did like, though?
I did like the subversion, because I thought the AI was going to be the big bad, but no, it was their shithead commander. It was a little bit rushed and forced, the AI turning good again, but it's okay because it's sentient and is really, really sorry about getting Jamie Foxx killed, you guys.
I feel sorry.
But the whole Thailand thing was a fucking waste of time. The love thing was stupid. The effects were shit.
I just want to say, Thailand scene for 9-10-year-old John was pretty awesome because Jessica Biel was in a bathing suit, which wasn't even like it wasn't. It's not like a film like where have you ever seen Meet the Millers?
Yes.
So you know how Jennifer Aniston is in that film, and there's like a whole scene kind of making fun of the fact that she's a very well-known like sex icon, basically. Like it wasn't even anything like that. It was just Jessica Biel out swimming.
I assure you, this is integral to the plot that I film you in a swimsuit.
Well, in 2005, like fuck yeah,
Yeah. I don't
It was
even know if
just as necessary as like Megan Fox wearing short shorts in Transformers. So
that was integral to the plot. In fact, I'd say that was more important to the plot than this was. But
how else were we supposed to know that she's good at car repairs?
Literally anything else, Michael Bay.
I did talk shit on it, but I did like the soundtrack in this movie. I mean, they couldn't fucking afford Linkin Park to write a song for the movie, but you know what?
Incubus will do.
Incubus will do.
I don't even think they had Incubus's signature song "Drive."
No.
So this
They did have Machine Head's signature song "Bulletproof Skin."
They did have the Fray in it, which at this time was more unknown than it was.
Put them on the map. But I think it's about time we rate this film.
Oh, God, yeah, might as well. Those poor Tajikistan citizens, just all their cancer, and they did nothing to deserve that. Oh, my God.
Meh.
So, you got an idea for a rating for this film?
Uh, I didn't think about that.
I have an idea.
Let's hear it.
One future tech, or instead of stars, a future tech implosion bomb. How about that?
1 to 5 implosion bombs.
Yeah, sure. I
Okay.
just can't think of anything better. All right, let's hear it from you.
I give this 1 future tech implosion bomb out of 5, but it's a dud and doesn't go off, so 0.5.
I give this a quarter of an implosion bomb. It wasn't just a dud, it fucking fell apart before it hit its target. So a quarter of a star. The only reason I'm giving it a quarter is because of the nice little subversion of expectations with the AI, being the fake out villain. But
The thing is this isn't like there are plenty of times we've watched movies that are just fucking stupid, or they're not
they were
like
fun to watch.
right, or they're not even like quote unquote like super good. Like here's the thing, we've talked about pork chop films. This
Yeah.
isn't even a pork chop film.
No,
Like
absolutely not.
is 300 some landmark piece of cinema? No. Do I watch 300 once every year? Yes. I will not watch this movie again that I know of. I don't have a reason to watch this movie again.
It wasn't even a so bad it's good film. It was just not fun to watch. It took me numerous attempts to watch this movie. Man,
Yeah, it's just.
I watched.
Stealth failed so that Transformers could succeed.
It was I don't even know if I can call that a noble sacrifice, but it is a sacrifice. But yeah, this movie was dumb. Let's watch something else.
I'm glad you asked. Whose turn is it?
Well, I floated my idea. I honestly don't know who it
Oh,
was.
yeah. Let's do that.
So, in that case, the next movie we're watching is The Seven Samurai by the acclaimed director Akira Kurosawa.
I've actually not seen this film, so I'm very excited.
Me neither, but I've seen
I've heard a lot about his work.
By. And yeah, more on that when we watch it. I'm excited for this movie personally because I've heard good things about him and it.
A classic. A classic in the classical sense.
I got nothing
I
else.
am tentatively in talks. I'm trying to work it out. We may have a guest who will do a 4th of July episode with us.
Is it born on the 4th of July?
No.
Next year.
What's
the movie?
Do you guys remember the guys from Little Wars TV?
No.
We did fucking Battlefront with them.
Battlefront.
No. What was the? Oh my god! Why am I blanking on that movie? Battleground.
Refresh my memory.
The fucking World War II no music Battle of the Bulge movie.
Oh yeah, that movie. Now I remember.
And Little Wars TV was the guys that they run that YouTube channel that does like wargaming, like tabletop wargaming.
Cool.
But it's not set in stone, but we're tentatively talking about doing the Patriot with them.
All right. Shit. Yeah, I remember watching that movie. My most potent memory is that guy getting his head taken off by the cannonball.
Yeah. Almost
That
as good
cool.
as Mel Gibson just hacking a fucking redcoat to pieces.
Yeah, it's a pretty brutal
Mel Gibson
movie.
Crazy scream.
That South Park episode where they deduce that He's not racist. He's just stupid and crazy.
As he's smearing poop on himself.
My nipples hurt. My nipples hurt when I twist them.
Oh, go ahead, spank me.
God. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see if we'll see if we can get the scheduling to work out. But
I'm tired.
Then, Seven Samurai.
I'm tired. Not feeling great. Let's put a bow on this.
Wait a minute. What did Rotten Tomatoes give this?
Oh shit, you're right. And I had that pulled up because I'm ready, and I'm just on the fucking ball today, and it's not a fucking mess of a day like it normally fucking. God damn it! I can't fucking. There we go.
While you're looking that up, I learned something fun or interesting about my family.
Oh really? What?
Well, I was doing that whole ancestry thing, and like I knew a bunch about my family tree already. But apparently, I had a family member who was at Camp Douglas, which was the Union.
The Union equivalent of
Andersonville.
Shit.
He died of smallpox while there.
Shitty way to go.
You know what I have to say about that?
Died a traitor's death.
That's right. Get wrecked, traitor. Should have been on the winning team.
Yeah. Shame it shook out that way, but yeah.
Whatever.
So anyway, I have
family members who fought on the Union side too that I can be proud of. So fuck that one dude.
I honestly don't remember if I have any family that fought in the Civil War.
I mean, probably.
I mean, yeah, probably, but none that I come to mind of at all. But anyway, Stealth, Rotten Tomatoes. The tomometer is 13%, and the popcorn meter is 39%.
I am genuinely shocked at the popcorn meter. I am not shocked.
Higher than I expected.
I'm not shocked at the tomato meter.
Me neither.
Tomometer.
Okay.
Well, do you have anything else?
No, I do not.
Alrighty. Well, if you've enjoyed this episode, please leave a review. The stars do matter. If you'd like additional content from us, you can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Discord, OnlyFans, GoFundMe,
Kick, Patreon.
Is 4chan still a thing?
Yes.
We're on 4chan.
It was resurrected.
Reddit. No, wait. I don't think we ever read it. We should do that, though.
Probably should. It would help, maybe.
Also, we don't have half of those things, so...
Also, another thing that I felt was worth mentioning was that the AI in this was called EDI. And later on, there would, in like 2009, so 4 years later, there's an AI in Mass Effect 2 called Edie. Not Eddie, but Edie. Same exact lettering.
Erectile dysfunction.
In New Vegas, 2010, there's another robot called ED-E. Not EDI, but it's close. And it's pronounced Eddie or Edie, depending on who you ask.
So what you're saying is Stealth was a trendsetter?
Yes. But quarter of stars all I'm giving it. Sorry.
That's fine. I only gave it half.
Not a great movie. Not even a good one.
Yeah.
Whatever. I have high hopes for the Seven Samurai.
Alrighty. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. And until next week, I've been John.
And I've been Jack.
And we will catch you all later.
Bye.